Hello and welcome. I'm joined by Kunal Verma, who's had the privilege of documenting many of the armed forces happenings over the years across borders, across various types of forces. And I'm going to ask him about his latest book that he's co-authored with General V.K. Singh, Courage and Conviction. Kunal, so you've worked across genres. You've been a writer and a filmmaker, and you've sort of done this over a period of time. Tell us about this particular book and what led to it.
Well, many years ago, I'm the publisher of Alep, David Davida. We were in college together, and many years ago he asked me to do a book, and I told him I'm not going to do it with you, but I'll come back when I've got at least half a dozen books under my belt, because otherwise everybody will say you're my friend. That is when he was the hotshot editor in Penguin.
Yeah.
I had done about 9 books, the last one being the Northeast Trilogy, when he again approached me and he said, why don't you think of doing an autobiography with General Singh? I had been working very closely with the General on the Northeast Trilogy, and which was our attempt to document all the tribes and the people of the Northeast. It was a program which we undertook with the integration of the people. Very little is known about the Northeast, and we wanted people in India to understand what it was all about. It was a massive project, and one worked very closely with him, and one also began to realize that the man, I'm talking about the General, was willing to take on any establishment, and he wasn't getting bogged down by bureaucracy and stuff like that. And we were just, because to do a thing like this, which is out of the box, we had to think out of the box, and he was willing to take those decisions. So, but I wasn't very sure how you do an autobiography with someone. So I told David, I said, you mean a biography? And he said, no, I want an autobiography. So I asked the General, I said, would you like to do that? In the meantime, David flooded us with all kinds of autobiographies written, Colin Powell, this, that, and the other. And one began to feel that here was a story which needed to be told. Because if you see the way events have unfolded, the controversies which have been highlighted throughout the General's thing, most of them have been concocted, and they're really media creation. Mind you, the book was not an attempt to set that at rest, but it was just that what led to the General taking certain stands and his own evolution as a human being. It was all very important, and it seemed to be a perfect subject for an autobiography. Then we worked on it. I suggested it to the General. He met David also, and they discussed it, and we worked in tandem on it.
You said that you were clear on what you wanted to avoid, which is looking like a response to everything that's happened in the last year or so in the newspapers and media and so on. But what is it trying to set in terms of a theme going forward?
See, the whole point of this autobiography, you take any Indian Army officer, not General V.K. Singh alone, and they lead a life which is very different from you and me, from the average civilian. Their life is at a level which is sometimes quite unbelievable, depending on which arm and this, that, and the other, and would make for fantastic reading. In the case of General V.K. Singh, he has gone through the entire spectrum, so to speak. Immediately after getting commissioned, he served. He fought in the Bangladesh War. He had terrific experience during the IPKF operations. He commanded Victor Force, which was a division in Jammu and Kashmir. So, but here was a man who had seen combat, had done extremely well in the army, and continued to move up. And yet, everything that he saw and did as a junior officer influenced everything that he did subsequently, which when he finally took a stand on certain issues which were, in my opinion, of national importance, we've all seen what has happened, because everybody went into a panic, and the system, I will not say the government, but the system, out of sheer panic, has actually then relentlessly attacked him and tried to bring him down. And I think that story, that is all part of it. Now, as far as the controversies were concerned, the book does not highlight them with the intention of wanting to attack somebody or something. It is just stating it because it happened. It's even the age thing is chronologically listed because these were the events. It is not that it's trying to set the record straight or something of the sort.
Right. So, just the last question. So, what's the theme that you would like, let's say, a young Indian reading the book for the first time, or reading the book for that matter, to take away from?
Well, I think it's a story of a remarkable man. It's a person, I've grown up in the army. My father was a general. And I have seen people talking constantly about this is wrong, that is wrong, this is wrong at the junior level. As they go higher up in rank, their own stakes in life become higher and they get neutralized by the system. And when they really come to the top echelons, it's very easy to say, all right, don't rock the boat because they might send me as a governor or something. This man didn't do that. Mind you, he had plenty of opportunity, they tried it, but he didn't do it. He continued to hold dear to the very principles which were dear to him when he was a second lieutenant and a captain and a colonel and a brigadier. And I think the basic thing that the book does is, they say when things become very bad in cricket, go back to the basics. He's done that, which is basically stick to your convictions and have the courage.
And I hope many of the readers read this book.
Well, I hope they do, because I think it's much more than just the story of a person.
Kunal, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.